There we go. Yeah, so I just want to leave the floor open to share anything that anybody wants to. It could be a story, it could be a funny thing you saw, could be something you wrote. What I called it was celebrating the divine, which is a take on what they call it the Mayor Center. Like on Sunday nights, they do an open share at the reading room. Oh, Rich, I just saw your face. I saw what you posted on my Facebook. I'm not ignoring you. I just haven't answered it yet. So I apologize. Anyway, um, but yeah, so it's just an open night for anyone who wants to hear some poetry, hear some music, tell a story. You don't even have to be talented. You can just read something from like Dr. Seuss if you want. I mean, that is talent if you can read. So does anybody from the get-go feel called to share something or have something that they are excited to share? No? Okay. I am going to call on someone then. And I'm letting Diane know at some point I will be calling on her. So she better be ready with something. I don't know what it is, but something. Um, uh, how about Bob? Oh, thank you, Betty. Thank you so much. Go ahead. Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Just have to comment. You look like a cop, Tony.
Like a cop?
Yeah, with your badge and your black shirt. Yeah. That's all.
It's Meherabad Police Force here, ma'am.
Well, there you go. A funny story. Something to make us laugh. I love it. All right. Let's go to Diane, but I'm just letting Bob know. Bob, you have so much beautiful poetry, and I know you're not one to say, hey, hey, look at me. So I'm going to say, hey, hey, look at you in a couple minutes. So get ready, okay? All right, go ahead, Diane. Or Terry. I don't know if Terry's there.
Well, so Terry handed me this to read, so it's the two of us. Fair enough?
Hi, Terry.
I don't know the source except to say Facebook. Okay, so right there. This is called Divine Fruits, and I don't think they're talking about me and Terry, but sorry. You asked for something funny, and I did something funny.
Yeah, you delivered.
Divine Fruits. Through deep inner explorations, soul excavations, I am mysteriously brought closer to the center where truth resides, working my way through unimagined interior landscapes of ancient rock and hard clay. I am planting a fresh spring garden, digging and sowing seeds of light, recently uncovered within, sensing that a glorious golden harvest awaits. With divine play, this stark, challenging beginning that wound its way to a bounty of divine fruits, sweet and succulent. The storms hail, droughts and flooding, mere stepping stones on soul's mystical meandering, headed straight to the heart of God. I hear a voice on the wind whisper, "Seeker, welcome home," as tears of immense gratitude gently fall from my eyes. Jai Baba.
Hey, Baba. That kind of sounds Hafinsky. Do you guys know who Hafinsky is? Danny Ladinsky.
Oh, Ladinsky doing Hafiz. So you, Hafinsky, that's very funny. I never heard that. Did you ever say that to Jeff?
No, but that's actually Laurent came up with that. I was
Oh
reading.
my God, look, just then Jeff came on. Literally.
Oh, I'll ask. Hey,
So
Jeff.
Well, he's connecting to audio.
I can't see.
I mean, Baba totally staged this.
What do you mean? It's Facebook.
I'll ask. Hold on. You guys ready for this? I'm gonna make Jeff laugh.
Katie Rose wrote it, Diane.
I didn't know she wrote it.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
Don't say things.
Unmute yourself. I got a quick question for you. I just heard of an amazing new poet, so famous, writes the most beautiful, like spiritual, mystical poems, like straight from God. Have you ever heard of Hafinsky?
He's muted.
You're on mute, Jeff.
What's the name?
Hafinsky.
Finsky.
Think outside the box.
I know. I'm trying to think of Finsky. I'm blind. It's not Ladinsky, but
Part of it.
Finsky.
Finsky.
Uh, I am at a loss.
It's the combination of Hafez and Danny Ladinsky.
Oh, Hafinsky. I got it.
So I call all of those poems I call Hafinsky because they're not, I mean, just so you guys know, they're renditions. They're not actually the direct translation.
I said to Danny one time, this really seems like Eritrean poetry. And he said, yes. It's kind of, but hey, it's valuable. But it's kind of
beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And Terry just corrected me. The poem I read is by Katie Rose.
Oh. Wow.
The Bobble Lover?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I know. Well, I know.
Wow.
So I wanted to do credit where credit is due.
Thank you for sharing.
Hey, but it looks like Tony's up there.
Yeah, Tony's patiently waiting. I can see him. He's just biting at the bullet. He's ready or chomping at the bit. Okay, let's go, Tony. Let's hear it.
There, hi. It's a song I wrote in India in '94, and I think it was my last day there. And Mani was ill, and she was in her bedroom by Dr. Gohar's orders. She couldn't come out on the porch. And I sang it. It had been written coming out of the Samadhi earlier in that trip. And I forget her name now, played the violin along with me. And when it was over, I was heading back to get my taxi to go back to Bombay. And Mani sent Katie, not Katie, the Westerner. No,
Shelley?
it's like Casey. Send Casey with the message, tell Tony that's what the big doctor ordered. She had been hearing the song from inside. So anyway, it's called Mercy. I call you Mercy, that is your name. I call you Mercy, that's why you came. A gentle feeling that's harder than steel. You are revealing all the love I conceal. With mercy so real, with mercy so real. You are the ocean inside this drop. Within this seedling, you are the crop. I call you fire and healing rain, unbound desire, regardless of pain. Mercy is your name. You have but one answer when I rail and attack, relentlessly healing what I think I lack. You are giving back, you are giving back. When I am sleeping, you call my name. When I am weeping, you cool the rain. When I am burning, you hold my hand. And when I'm turning, you understand. It's what you have planned. When I am dreaming, you make it sweet. When I am loving, 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 you make it complete. When I am laughing, you're like a waterfall. And when I'm crashing, you soften the fall. Mercy to you I call. Your loveliness lingers, cannot believe it's true. With just a move of your fingers, you do what you must do to bring me home to you, to bring me home to you. I call you mercy, for that is your name. I call you mercy, Meher, that's why you came. The gentlest of feelings, that's so much harder than steel. You are revealing all the love I conceal, with mercy so real. With mercy so real. With mercy so real.
Tony, take that one to the bank. That one's beautiful. Wow.
Tony, that was wonderful. Great performance and dynamic song. And I just have one question about the lyrics. Did you say when I'm kvetching?
Kvetching? No.
It sounded like kvetching. I was thinking that's got to be the only Baba song that has the word kvetching.
When I am sleeping, when I am weeping, when I am burning, when I am turning, when I am dreaming, when I am loving, when I am laughing, when I'm crashing.
Oh, there.
No, it's kvetching.
When I'm crashing, you soften the fall. When I'm kvetching, you say, cut it out.
Good one.
Really beautiful. Thank you, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know, I was wondering if, oh, I guess I'm muted. No.
No, you're not.
Ronnie, can you play one of those Josephine Ross's songs from, these are some beautiful songs that she wrote when she was just something like 19 with Baba there in Harmon on Hudson. And you put a number of those things to music. And I haven't heard these in years.
Ron, you need to unmute.
A beautiful song, Ron. If he would just pay his electric bill sometime.
Here, Ron, put a message. What's going
You
on,
are
Ron?
very muted. You're on. Very muted.
Yeah, I don't think it sounds working. You can't hear.
Oh, one time I had to go to the corner down below on the screen to get unmuted.
Did you check the lower left corner? I asked it as the host. I asked if you could unmute. We can come back to you if you want when you figure it out. Yeah, does that work? Okay. We'll circle back around. Bob, did you have any poetry that you want to grace us with?
Yeah, I turned to one that I wrote a few years ago. It's called a Sonnet for Sheltering in Place. Another day, beloved, what will it bring? Your image smiles, lightens as sun slants in, climbing higher as this dear old world spins. Out there is madness. In here, heart sings. Love's whisper sometimes seems faint and weak as the wailing rises, the knives come out, malignant spreads, your children shout. Ah, there, the sun just brushed your cheek. Perhaps staying in is best, inside, just here, in the quiet among your images and books, your silent words, smiles, loving looks. In or out, the deepest need emerges clear. Open the windows, throw wide heart's door, beg to love him more and more, and still yet more. Jai Baba.
Oh, beautiful.
Mm.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Ron, do we have any updates on sound? Still no sound? Okay, well, in the meantime, we've got Ralph. Bob, I might come back to you because you got some goodness. So, all right, Ralph, go ahead.
We have a Huma poem, Empty Bowl. Give me an answer, O Master. Give me at least a clue to my error. Here's reference to a bulbul, a bird, the bulbul, which doesn't make sense, but there's another Huma poem in which Huma gives some description to the bulbul bird, which is the bulbul has a lovely song. But it's lacking something. So what Huma says, the bulbul song springs from the head, but bogs in the heart. It doesn't stimulate the heart, but it sounds nice to what I don't know, but has a nice sound, but doesn't go deep. So here we empty bowl. Give my question an answer, O Master. Give me at least a clue to my error. The bulbul remains ever separated from you, Khwaja. You've strewn my path with thorns. Give me a whiff of fragrance. O wine bearer, fill up this bowl with the wine of love. What will I do with an empty bowl? Give me the flavor of wine. Let Huma's vessel be borne on the wave of ecstasy. I beseech you, Khwaja. I'm brimming with sin. I need my fill of wine. There you go, Margie. J. Bob, thank you.
Jay, Bob, and Ralph. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. Some people had trouble hearing you, but and I don't know what was happening. I could hear him. I don't know.
You get it okay?
It was kind of quiet, but I mean, I heard you. I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, go ahead, Jeff. What were you gonna say?
No, I said I thought it was wonderful. Yeah, I could hear okay.
Yeah, really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
I hear it again.
Well, can everybody?
Yeah, I couldn't, like Tony, I couldn't hear it very well. I mean, and it wasn't that it was breaking up. It was that it just didn't, I don't know what the deal is, but yeah, maybe if you could move a little closer to your speaker, and I would like to hear it again.
Is that better? Is that any better, Bob? Better? No? No?
I think so. I think yes. I think it is.
It's a short poem. It's called Empty Bowl. Did you hear the reference to the bowl? Why the bowl is ever separated from the Lord? You know why? His song. Okay. So this is called Empty Bowl. Give my question an answer, O Master. Give me at least a clue to my error. The bulbul remains ever separated from you, Khwaja. You've strewn my path with thorns. Give me a whiff of fragrance. O wine bearer, fill up this bowl with the wine of love. What will I do with an empty bowl? Give me the flavor of wine. Let Huma's vessel be borne on the wave of ecstasy. I beseech ye, Khwaja. I'm brimming with sin. I need my fill of wine. That's a tough one to imagine, Baba. In any state or conditions, spinning that type of poem.
Thanks for reading it again, Ralph. It's really beautiful.
Again?
No, I said thank you for reading it again. Wow, all you guys got to get your ears checked. No, I'm just kidding.
We're all over 70, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get Angela to buy you all hearing aids so you can hear on Baba Zoom. So I have one that I wrote that I'd like to read, but if Ron's sound is working, we could go to Ron before that. I'm indifferent.
I just turned off the whole computer because.
Oh yeah, it's working now.
Screwy. I
Yeah.
returned. You can hear me now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Want to try one of those songs, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, but Ron, are you gonna play some music? Yeah. Make sure you put your settings on, like, off the original settings. You did? Okay. Cool.
I got it on original sound for musicians. Okay.
Cool.
La da 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 ba da 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 la da 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 la da da la da 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 la da da la da da Wild man disputes, sweet nature rules the day, and scatters songs and flowers along the way, and still the roses bloom, the winds shall blow, and mountains silent stand beneath their snow, and still the sun will shine, God's light to bring, and still at dawn and evening birds will sing. La da, la da da, la da da, la da, la da da. What matter, Democrat, Republican, cuckoo, 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 or any other group dividing man. Cuckoo, beneath our hedge, the violets grow in vain, and still shall grow when we have passed away, and still the sun will shine, God's life to bring, and still at dawn and evening birds will sing. Still the sun will shine, God's life to bring, and still at dawn and evening birds will sing. Still the sun will shine, God's life to bring, and still at dawn and evening birds will sing.
Yeah, beautiful. I like that. It has it makes you want to dance. It gives like a palm tree swaying feeling, like you're sitting out under the stars or something.
Those songs,
Yeah.
those songs I put on an album called "The Songs of a Modern Disciple," which is the title of Josephine Esther Ross's poetry book. And if you want to listen to the songs, they're on SoundCloud under my name, Ron Griechstein SoundCloud. The album is on there. You can hear that song fleshed out with some nice instrumental accompaniment and stuff.
Thanks, Ron. Appreciate it. Well, anyone else right now? No? Okay. Go ahead, Marian.
I feel a little cautious. This is sharing, but these are a couple of poems, two poems, one led to the other back in 2019. So I thought I would read them, just read them and let them go. So the first one is, Baba says, this is his whim, his divine creation. It is all a joke. For God to know God, I had to be me, little me. I do my best to say his name, to stay in the game of creation, all the while knowing it is the one in all who walks the streets, who laughs and weeps. It is the one experiencing loneliness and pain. It is the one. And the next one is, enough, enough. Unwinding is rough. Being jerked back to God, I feel like a fraud. I smile and nod to those I meet and greet, secretly knowing this too is their fate. Eternal bliss, no creation to miss. It was all a joke, mirrors and smoke. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. I like those. Those are so fun. I love when people read those short. Even, the Hafinsky ones are so short and sweet, but I love ones like that. So thanks for sharing, Marion, and feel free to share more, please. All right, let's go to Bob.
I'd like to share a pair of poems from Whistling Past the Tavern. The first one is Jeff's, and the second one will be mine. Vulnerability is the key. The beloved says, between you and me, there are 49 veils. Between me and you, there are no veils. But why do you keep me so many veils away at a distance, gazing at you, when my heart longs to feel my cheek next to yours? Do you think I'm content with a glimpse of a glimpse of a glimpse of you? For years I've tried to draw close, sometimes making strenuous spiritual effort, but still your precious intimacy eludes my heart. From deep within me, you answer, dear one, all your strengths and virtues together will not pierce a single veil. It is only when I bring up in you what is most weak and vulnerable that the veils are loosened and drop away, so that one day you just fall into my arms. Pulling at a thread. I noticed the thread on the button of the shirt and pulled. And when the button fell off, there was a moment's irritation until the thought occurred to me, the possibility that this unraveling could simply continue up the sleeve, across the shoulders, down the torso and the other arm all at once, and then by some odd attraction unknown to science, progress from the shirt tail to the shorts and trousers and socks, and then inexplicably jumping like lightning from earth to sky, the mystery would continue from the tips of the toes all the way up the body till nothing remained to my wife's astonished gaze but a slappy, happy Cheshire grin. Then, side to side, that too would go, not fading cat-like, but a clean unwinding. And then another lightning leap to mind, and all the dark and hidden residue floating up and up like buried stuff from deep swamp muck stirred by wind, coming to light and lining up bit by bit like the loopy threads on a dog food sack. And if you can find just the right place to start, they unzip thread by binding thread quickly and easily, just like that, until nothing is left but you, beloved.
Mm.
Jay Baba.
Wow. Thank you. I love that one, Bob. Before we go on, I want to ask.
That's a tasty.
Yeah, I love that one. I want to ask each Jeff and Bob. So I know like when this poetry comes out, it's not just because you're like, oh, I had a long day at work. Let me just write something. So what was the state that each of you guys were in when these poems came to you? You want to go first, Bob?
I'm for some reason, my good speakers, I can't turn them on. And so I've got these little speakers in my laptop and I'm just not hearing very well with my hearing aids. Would you repeat your question, please?
Yeah. Yeah. So my question is, what state were you in when you wrote this? Right? You know, what was your day like? What were you feeling? How did this poem come out of you?
Jeff, do you have any memory of how what you were when you wrote that particular one? That's one. It's a.
I don't even remember writing it. I gave a whole lot of poems to Bob, who put this book together, and some of them are like a few that I remember, but most of them I don't. They're just new to me.
Yeah,
I'm
sort of the same way. I mean, I'm almost certain that I wrote that one when my wife and I lived over in Western Colorado. And because I sort of remember sharing it at a poetry reading over there.
Yep,
And,
I was there.
Oh, you were there already? Okay.
Yeah, that night, yeah.
So, yeah, and then, I mean, then I went to the center and I took all these poems and I was working on some other ones and somehow or other I found out that Jeff had been writing poems so we started talking about doing a book together and I just kind of put it all together. So but that dog food sack, that one that I wrote, I mean, I just sort of got into the image. I mean, it started with that happening was real. You know, I put on a shirt and I look and there's a thread hanging off the button. And instead of doing the sane thing, which would have been the patient thing, which would have been to get a scissor and snip it off, I pulled on it. And the thread came off and the button came off and the image I got a little, I thought, oh, and but the image sort of brought something up, brought the story up, and I just kept on having fun with it and expanded it. And yeah, so
That's a description of effacement. Really.
Oh, and you know, Baba, the other thing that popped into my head, of course, was Baba saying that all of that subconscious junk, all that muck, has to be dealt with. It has to come up into consciousness. And so I took that teaching and sort of it came to me as I was working on the poem. And it's one of the few poems that sort of fell together all at once instead of something that I had to work on over and over and over and over and over again to get it to work. So yeah.
It's great. Thank you guys. I'm going to share one and then I'll go to Tony and Ron if that's okay. If you guys can be patient. Okay, so since I'm quite a bit younger, my poems are more recent. So I do remember when I wrote them. No, I'm just teasing. But I wrote this when I'll say when I was really bitching to Baba about like how like the world just isn't fair, how like our hearts are so beautiful. And this poem, as I was writing it, when I feel like when I write, it's like a conversation with Baba, and then Baba will kind of like answer me through me. And so the beginning of this poem is like a completely different story than where it ends. And it was kind of shocking to me, like what ended up coming out. So I'm excited for you guys to go for the ride. Okay. It's called Sometimes I Cry. Sometimes I cry, beloved. Sometimes I weep. Sometimes I cry for my heart. Sometimes I cry for theirs. And sometimes I cry for yours. Sometimes I cry for the world. Sometimes I cry for those walking on knife's edge. I don't shed tears for myself, but when I do weep, it is for my heart, for the unappreciated loving it has done, for all the moments it has been taken for granted or tossed aside. Sometimes I cry for its innocence, for the pure, beautiful love it wants to bring into the world. I weep for the unfair hardship it has sustained. For every time it tried to make the world a better place and was met with disdain. For every smile it tried to bring to someone else's face. Sometimes I cry for its purity, for its childlike grace. I cry for its unrelenting strength. My heart is stronger than me, beloved. It shows up, battered, shattered, and broken, still trying its best. The heart gives all it has. It doesn't think of the consequences. It doesn't even think of itself. This is why I weep, beloved. How can something so pure be so abused? Why do you allow this to be so? Protect the heart, beloved. I cry out on my hands and knees. For the sake of love, protect it. Hold it in high esteem and love it as it loves. I'm angry with you, beloved. How can you create something so perfect and give it no protection? It is you who does everything. So aren't you its abuser? You are the one giving the lashings. I cry because of your doing. I don't understand, beloved. How can the face of love itself be so cruel? You were once a sanctuary for my heart, but now I question where to go. I scream. Sometimes I scream, beloved. Sometimes I wail for all hearts. In my anger, I hear a whisper so soft and sweet and delicate, it wakes me from my rage. It is my heart. I listen to its gentle voice that says, there is no need to weep for me. If you weep, weep only for his heart. The pain I feel is a blessed gift. The pain I feel doesn't compare to the beloved's pain. I've longed for this suffering, to share in his burden. Through my tears, I fall to my knees and cry out one last time, beloved, forgive me. That's what I've got. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. All right, let's go to Tony.
I was going to say last year, but we're already in 2024. So the year before last year, I got a sound audio interface, and I was going through my old cassette tapes, song tapes, to digitize, my songs, many of which I hadn't played in decades. And I came across a few that I did not remember, or that suddenly came back to me. And some of them I went like, wow, did I write that? That's like different than my style, and it's really good. But this is one of those, kind of very folky. I think it just came, but I would suggest that you could hear the lyric as Bob is singing it. That's one way of hearing the song. I can feel it when you call my name, when you play my game, when you call my name. Can you feel it when I say hello? Doesn't someone glow? Doesn't someone know where the winds may blow? Where the winds may blow? Where the winds may blow? Will they carry us high? Or will they carry us low? Will we reach for the sky? Or will we fall like the snow? Only time will tell where the winds may blow. If you feel it, come and let me know. Come and let it show. Come and let love grow. If you conceal it, how am I to know? Come and let it show. Oh, how am I to know? Where the winds may blow, where the winds may blow, where the winds may blow. Will they carry us high, or will they carry us low? Will we reach for the sky, or will we fall like the snow? Only time will tell where the winds may blow. I've been calling, but you will not hear. What have we to fear when there's love so near? I've been calling, but there's no one there. We've got love to share. Go and brush your hair and come with me anywhere where the winds may blow, where the winds may blow. Oh, will they carry us high, or will they carry us low? Will we reach for the sky, or will we fall like the snow? Only time will tell where the winds may blow, where the winds may blow, where the winds may blow. Or will they carry us high, or will they carry us low? Will we reach for the sky, or will we fall like the snow? Only time will tell where the winds may blow. Only time will tell where the winds may blow.
Tony, did you open for Crosby, Stills and Nash?
Yes, it was originally it was Tony Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. It was.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
Beautiful, yeah. Thank you, Tony. Okay, let's go to Ron.
I have a Baba story that I found when I was reading Balnatu's Glimpses of Volume 4. And it was during Baba's darshan programs that happened in Andhra State. And there was a lot of getting together with Baba. I mean, it was just on fire in Andhra. This was, I think, Baba's first trip in 1954. And maybe it was his second trip. But there was a lot of get-togethers, and they had Baba had 4 guys organizing everything. And one of the guys' name was Sastri. So this story begins with Sastri sitting by himself after one of these darshan programs and just obsessing about something that had happened that he was not happy with. And it was either something that was his fault or somebody else's fault. But anyhow, he was just going over this and obsessing about it. And when somebody walked up to him, one of the Baba people in the area, and he said, Shastri, I was sent over just to make sure that everything is set for tonight's darshan program, which Shastri was involved in getting, organizing it. And then he just realizes that he hadn't told Baba or the Mandali about this particular darshan program that was going to be happening in like a couple of hours, and he hadn't even mentioned it yet. So he started freaking out, and the only thing he could do was to run over to the place where Baba was staying with Pendu and Erich. The other Mandali were in another building, and so he went over just really nervous and just didn't know what he was going to do, except he had to confess that he had forgotten. So he went in and right away, Pendu heard somebody come in, and he said, "What are you doing here? This is Baba's resting. He's taking his meal upstairs. You can't really be here. He's resting." And then Shastri told Pendu what the story was, that there were these people that were going to be gathering shortly at this hall and expecting Baba to come for a darshan program. So Pendu said, "You wait here," and he goes upstairs. Then he shortly comes down, and he said, "Go upstairs. Baba wants to see you." So Shastri walks in, and there's Baba sitting in front of a plate of food at this table, and Shastri realizes, like, he's here with Baba just by himself, which is like hardly anybody was ever just with Baba by himself, unless it was some Mandali, night watchman or something. But so he didn't know what to do, because he didn't think he could interpret Baba's gestures or anything like that, and so Baba calls him over, and Baba's about ready to take a handful of food. Baba was just using his hand to eat with, just like is very typical in India. And he had gathered up some food, and he called over Shastri. Now, Shastri got his thought in his mind, and who knows why, but he thought to himself, "I wonder if Baba has teeth." This is the thing that he was thinking about, in the midst of this whole upheaval about whether, what was going to happen. He had forgotten about this darshan program. And so Baba calls him over. And when he calls him over, Baba stands up, and he's got this handful of food, and Baba opens his mouth, and he makes this sign like, "Open your mouth." And when he does that, Baba opens his mouth. And when Baba opens his mouth, Shastri sees the inside of Baba's mouth, and he can see that he hasn't any teeth in there. So somehow he got the answer to his question pretty quick. And then he opens his mouth, and Baba shoves his handful of food right into his mouth. And so he's just like, all he can do is just chew. And meanwhile, in comes Erich. Now, Erich takes care of Baba like a doting mother, and he's going to make sure that nobody bothers Baba, especially when he's about ready to eat and rest for the day after a long darshan program that day. So he's bawling out Shastri like, "Shastri, I heard Pendu told me you forgot. It's not our fault. It's you have to deal with it. So you have to let Baba rest. He has to have his rest, and he has to have a meal." So and then Baba quiets Erich. And then Baba is signing to Shastri, and he takes Erich's chin in his hand, and he holds it under like this, like, "Look at this man. See how he takes care of me? This guy is a gem. He takes care of me better than my mother could take care of me." And so, he's just a wonderful person. And then he turns to Erich, who's interpreting this for Shastri. Then he looks at, and he says to Erich, he says, "All right, get ready, we're leaving." And so they get in the car, Pendu and Erich get in the car, and they start driving over to the program. So on the way over, Shastri says, "Oh, Baba, we're going to pass by where the other Mandali are staying. If you want to stop there and pick them up, maybe, if you wanted to bring them over." And then Baba gives Shastri a little zinger, saying, "Now you want to bother my other Mandali too? This isn't bad enough." Anyhow, so they get there. But in the meantime, once they arrive, Baba says to Shastri, "Go in there and let everybody know that if I'm going to do this darshan program, there are 3 things that they have to agree to, 3 instructions. One of them is there's no bowing down. No one is to bow down to me. And second one is no gifts. Nobody should give me anything. And lastly, nobody should say Avatar Mayor Baba Ki Jai. And just as a reference, Avatar Mayor Baba Ki Jai had just started that year. Nobody ever said that before. But Baba said it when he was in Meherabad village at Upar. What was the name of that area? The other where Baba said was his heart. Anyhow, that's where Baba said that he was the avatar, and he proclaimed it by saying
Hamirpur.
Hamirpur, right?
Hamirpur.
So everybody was saying Avatar Mayor Baba Ki Jai. It was like the thing, but he said nobody should say that. So Shastri goes in and tells everybody what the conditions are, and he has to get agreement from everybody, and he does. Everybody says that they'll follow the instructions. They just want to see Baba and have his darshan. So he goes out and he tells Baba they've all agreed. And Baba comes in and Baba says that he's so happy that all have agreed to his conditions. He feels very pleased about their attitudes and their willingness to comply with that. But he says, now I want you to do one thing. If you have any gifts or anything like that, well, feel free to give it to me. No problem. And if you want to bow down, I'll be here until everybody has had the chance who wants to bow down to do that. I won't leave until everybody has had that chance. And if you'd like to say Avatar Mayor Baba Ki Jai, go right ahead. And they did. Yeah, but to me, this is the mastery of Baba. I mean, it's only one of all these different stories that we hear about how he deals with people, and it's just so many different aspects to it. When I read this story, I thought to myself, this is worth retelling. I wouldn't just like read a book and all of a sudden pick one thing out, but that one I thought was just so rich. Anyhow, I like telling it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story. Thank you, Ron. I forget her last name, but first name's Shireen, and I think she grew up in England, and she really hated Indian food, but she went to go meet Baba when she was a kid, and her parents were so nervous because she refused to eat Indian food, and so she's sitting at the table with the women Mandali and Baba, and she's kind of fussing. She really doesn't want to eat it. She's kind of like tossing food in her plate. And all of a sudden, Baba somehow asks for her attention, and she turns her face, and Baba shoves an entire handful of rice and dal in her mouth. And she just sat there like that. Anyway.
That's Baba's niece.
Yes.
Yeah. Shireen.
And she loved Dal ever after.
Yeah. After that, she loved Dal. Okay, so we'll go to Marion and Jeff first and then Marion, but then I'm gonna have to close up after that because I gotta get going. So let's go to Jeff. Okay. You're okay, Jeff. No, I just, in case other people wanted to put their hands up. You guys are good.
Okay, two things. One is, this is Dr. Zeus. You were talking about Dr. Zeus. Be kind to wishers who haven't got wishes. Be kind to fishers who haven't got fishes. Be kind to the beginners who haven't got ends. Be kind to strangers who haven't got friends. Be kind to the walkers who haven't a shoe. Be kind to the talkers who haven't a clue. Be kind to outsiders and insiders too. Be kind to the kind kept confined in the zoo. Be kind in your mind in all that you do, and you'll find that mankind can be kind to you too. Dr. Zeus. So I thought of this. I haven't really thought about it in a long time, but it was a real turning point in my life. I don't know if I can convey it, but back in the early 70s, we used to get together on on the veranda, the Mandali would come out and all these chairs would be brought out. This is on the veranda there, outside of, outside of Mandalay Hall. And like there'd be a whole lot of people around, say, Ron O'Galey, and there'd be a whole lot of people around Monty. There'd be a whole lot of people around Alaba. For some reason, they weren't using Mandalay Hall in quite the same way. So, and then the bell would be rung and we'd kind of get on our bikes because we were riding bikes then, and we'd take off, And so, was that? Oh, I can get it. I'll get it. Yeah. So, so we get, we have we were so loaded with, with love, and it was such magnificent times. So anyway, we took off at the end of each day. And then, but on this occasion, Denny Moore, an old buddy of mine, and we got kind of about a mile out from Meherabad, and he realized that he forgot something, his bag with maybe his money in it. So we doubled back. So we came back into Meherabad. Place was pretty much deserted, but we heard this noise from around the corner by the blue bus and everything. So we wanted to find somebody, see if his bag had turned up. We came around the corner and we found there is Erich stacking all of the chairs. We surprised him. So we surprised him in such a way that he didn't have a chance to hide his hurt look. In other words, we would just leave the mess to him. These people would pour their hearts out all day, and then and then Erich would be the one that had to stack all the chairs. But we came around the corner, and that look of hurt in Erich's eyes, if we hadn't surprised him, he would never have had a hurt look in his eyes. And I thought, Jeff, you cannot ever do this again. You can't be that insensitive. You have to know what's going on, and that really was a real, that hurt look in Erich's eyes was blazoned into my consciousness. Just be aware and don't leave things to others. And I mean, and like I say, we were just so insensitive. We were just in our own world, and we just take off and not look back. So that was a turning point, really, because after that, my service to Baba changed dramatically. I became kind of aware of what was going on instead of just floating on my feelings the whole time. So I happen to remember that after years.
Yeah, beautiful. Wow.
It is.
Thank you for sharing that, Jeff.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's a really special story. Wow. Thank you. Let's go to Marian.
Thank you for that story. Thank you, everyone. So I'm going to read a very short poem, and this was back in 2021, and it's just my strange poem. As I was always fascinated with Socrates, in that none of his teachings were ever written down by himself. Only Plato recorded. And so a lot of it is influenced by Plato. So it always fascinated me about Socrates. So this is a brief poem about that. I am Socrates. Yes, I am Socrates. Call it whatever you like. That voice that speaks to me, counsels me. Powerful questions spark powerful answers. Think before you speak. Allow space for the wisdom of the heart to lead the way. Choose. Chosen responses are avenues to freedom. The unexamined life is not worth living. Courage replaces fear. The fear-mongers mistake power over others as their gateway to freedom. Fear is their prison. And yet here I sit in their prison. They hand me the hemlock. I choose to drink. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Thank you, Marian. That's beautiful. I was thinking maybe for just to close up, I've got one of the Hafinsky books. Let me just do an open fall and see what comes up. Okay, this is from The Gift. Let's see. Should we go right or left? Right or left side? Hands up for left. Okay, hands up for right. Oh, guys, you're not helping me. It's an even. All right. We're going to go left. Okay. Some fill with each good rain. There are very different wells within your heart. Some fill with each good rain. Others are far too deep for that. In one well, you have just a few precious cups of water. That love is literally something of yourself. It can grow as slow as a diamond if it is lost. Your love should never be offered to the mouth of a stranger, only to someone who has the valor and daring to cut the pieces of their soul off with a knife. Then weave them into a blanket to protect you. There are different wells within us. Some fill with each good rain, and others far, far too deep for that. I have to be honest, some of them I don't ever understand. That's one of them. But it sounded beautiful. All right, I'll read the right side just so the people who voted right. No, Sonobra, I didn't write that. She just asked if I wrote that. No, it's from the Gift. Okay, here's the right page. The Vintage Man. The difference between a good artist and a great one is the novice will often lay down his tool or brush, then pick up an invisible club on the mind's table and helplessly smash the easels and jade. Whereas the vintage man no longer hurts himself or anyone and keeps on sculpting light. That's a good one. All right, guys. Well, thank you for everybody who shared, and we'll have a moment of silence and then we'll get going. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Jai Baba.
Thank you for another great Thursday night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jai Baba, everybody. Have a
Beautiful.
Hey, Baba.
Bye.